Dribbling is officially back in NBA 2K26. The speed boosts you can get are insane. You can spam a ton of moves like the Curry slide or escapes back and forth without even having to cancel out of them. Obviously, small guards are moving crazy on this game, but tall guards are back. These tall guards are moving so fast at Community Day, and I cannot be more excited. Mike Wang said that this year there's a 10% game speed increase, but honestly, to me, it feels a little bit faster than that. If you're starting to get excited for 2K26 like myself, then listen up. I'm giving away the game for free. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel. It's very simple. Once you subscribe, comment how you're feeling about 2K26 and I'll pick the winner in my video tomorrow. Here's the winner from my last video. What's up guys, it's Solo back with another video, and I just got back from 2K26 community. This is the first video I'm recording. This is the first video I'm putting out. And I knew it had to be first as soon as I got on the game because dribbling is back. For the last few 2Ks kind of went this realistic route where things are kind of slowed down. The gameplay is sluggish. There's less combos you can do. It just doesn't feel smooth. But I mean, I noticed it right away, and I know you guys will too when you get on the game. I'm not trying to hype it up or like, you know what I'm saying? They're not paying me to say this. I wasn't saying this about 2K25 dribbling, nothing like that, but it actually does feel way faster. I mean, obviously with a 10% game speed increase, you're gonna notice that. It feels so smooth. There's way more combos you can do. One thing that's huge is that you don't have to like LT cancel or cancel out of moves. So you can kind of spam a Curry slide back and forth, or if you want to do an escape back and forth like that long hezzy, you can just spam that, or you could do a like, bro, the combos are going to be crazy. And again, this is my first time on the game, and I was moving good with random NBA players in play now. So imagine what it's going to be like when you make your play, or you got a crazy high ball handle, speed of ball, and you can really mix and match all your animations. I could tell already that the dribbling on this 2K, if Mike Wang doesn't patch anything, if he doesn't touch anything, this is going to be the best dribbling 2K we've had since maybe 2K19. I mean, you could say 2K21 current gen was pretty good with the dribbling just because of how fast it was with the speed glitch. Something else I noticed is that the speed boosts on this game were good. Like on 2K25, it was kind of hard to speed boost. There wasn't really speed boost out of many moves. You know, you do a move, try to run out of it, it would be very slow. On this game though, there was a bunch of moves you could just burst out of. Like one of them was the snatchback. Some players had better snatchbacks than others. You do a snatchback, you could just like you're zooming out of that snatchback. The behind the back, some of them you could get speed boosts off of, or the escapes, or some players had really good cross launches. Like I think it's looking good. It's looking good to say the least. Another thing I'll say is that I might be explaining something that I noticed or that I found, but maybe I don't have the recording for it because I wasn't recording 24/7, or maybe someone else told me about it, or I was looking at their screen when I saw it. And another thing that I think is very important is that this gameplay right here and the stuff you're going to be seeing today is the worst the dribbling will ever look. Hopefully, unless they like nerf it, then I guess it would get worse. But what I'm saying is that this is play now gameplay with random NBA players. Like we haven't even made our builds yet. We haven't mixed and matched animations. So again, if you haven't, make sure to sub up, turn on noties, because as soon as we can drop those builds and we could like dribble around with them, I'm telling you, like you are not going to want to miss that, especially if you're a dribbler. If you're a guard, do not miss my videos tomorrow and in the coming days. Also, I played with so many different NBA players that I think I can tell you guys the best animations already, like before even getting to the, obviously there's going to be some we find that are like, okay, yeah, this is better. Like it's not going to be 100% perfect, but I was writing down, you know, this guy has a really good behind the back, this guy has a really good escape. And so I'm going to tell you guys in a second, you know, if you want to get your day 1 SIGs or whatever, this would be a good place to get them from. One move that I think is definitely going to be back is going to be the Steph Curry behind the back. Now, if we're basing it off previous 2Ks when we're talking about ball handle requirements, and obviously we're going to see more of this stuff when we get to the builder stuff tomorrow and in the coming days. But Curry always has one of the highest ball handles, so you'll probably need a pretty high ball handle for that. But the Curry slide was looking fast with the game speed increase. And again, you don't have to LT cancel, or, you know, if you played 2K25, or even I think 2K24 was the same, I want to say, you do a behind the back, then you'd have to do a hezzy and then do the behind the back right the other way. You don't have to do a hezzy. You don't have to LT cancel. You don't have to do none of that. You could just spam the Curry slide back and forth, you know, diagonal down left, diagonal down right. And that's the same for every move. Escapes as well. You don't have to, you know, left stick cancel for certain moves. I'm sure we'll find some things where you know, you can get really glitchy with, but the basic stuff, you could just spam a long hezzy, back and forth, Curry slide, Curry. You could literally Curry slide 15 times in a row without even really having to think about it. Like it's mad easy. There's been a lot of people that have asked me like, what 2K does this dribbling remind you of? And to be honest, like it kind of just feels like its own thing. Like there's parts of it that I'll feel like, you know, we're in 2K19, maybe 2K16 in some aspects. But for me, I don't know if people are going to agree with this. I would say this game for the dribbling is like 2K20, but like on steroids. Because if you played 2K20, obviously everyone hypes up 2K20. The dribbling on that game was solid. It wasn't great. It wasn't too fast. It was okay. But you could combo, you know, you could spin back, you could momentum, curry slide, whatever. You could do a lot of different things. I would say to me, it was kind of like 2K20, but way faster. And if we had a faster dribbling in 2K20, that game would have been even more insane. Another move that I noticed that I don't know if it was in 2K25, I know it used to be big in like 2K22, maybe 2K23, some of the older ones, was kind of that momentum hop. And so to do this, you basically just do like a crossover with the right stick, and then you hold right trigger and you cross back the other way. It's a little bit complicated, but once you get it down, it's pretty easy. And overall, after looking at the dribbling, I think ISO is going to be back, or at least viable. Like there's going to be people that are very good with ISO. There's going to be people that are very good with taking screens. And the thing that I'm most excited for, and of course, the builder stuff that hasn't even dropped yet. We're not even really allowed to talk about that, but the tall players, you know, the SGAs, the LaMelo balls that I played with, they were moving. You know, you do a snatchback or even just the dribble style was fast. You could speed boost with them. Like on 2K25, you got on a 6'6", especially coming off 2K24 where 6'6s were the meta. 2K25, you got on there and they were moving like slugs. They were sluggish, they were slow. It was not gonna work unless you found some glitchy moves. You know, there were some people that could dribble with tall guards, but it was just so complicated. And this game is going to be a lot easier. Like you could just feel it, like the speed boost, the cross launches. There's going to be a lot of options. And again, this is the beginning. Like once we really figure it out, I think it's going to get crazy on 2K26 when it comes to the dribbling. Like Steezo, I'm already knowing, like off just seeing some, and I'm not trying to glaze, but just off seeing just a few hours of dribbling and gameplay, like he's probably going to cook up some crazy shit. Just got to give him a few weeks. Another thing is that the momentum crossover looked good. And Mike Wayne came to Twitter a few weeks ago and he said that they are going to be back. If you have an 85 ball handle, you're going to have the best one. And there's a mid-tier one. And then there's one for, you know, if you have like a 45 ball handle, you can still momentum cross, but it'll be a very bad one. Obviously, a lot of the players I was dribbling on had high ball handles, high speed of balls. So I was getting the best momentum cross. And I could tell you, like, it's back. Like as far as like starting your combo, whether, you know, momentum cross into a curry slider, momentum cross into a escape, or the, you know, the cross launch out of it. Like there's just so many things you could do. I feel like the momentum hasn't really been good in some years. Like, you know, in 2K17 it was probably in its prime. With the momentum behind the back, you get crazy animations, a bunch of ankle breakers off of that. Another thing I'll say, and I don't know if I have footage of it, but from what I've seen, ankle breakers are increased a little bit. Like it's not like you're coming down and okay, snatch back, he's on the ground. But like they were definitely firing off more than I saw them in 2K25. I feel like we really didn't get a lot of ankle breakers in 2K25 at all. And again, something I want to stress is that I can't say too much, so I kind of got to pick my words wisely here. But once I can show you the my player builder and like the builds I made and how I was moving with them, if you're not thinking too highly of this, just wait. Just wait. That's all I'm gonna say. Turn on noties, because I wish I could show you that right now, but you know, today is only gameplay. We got play now, we got learn 2K, we got my team. So that's what I could work with right now. So it's not really the best, but I'm trying. And again, I use so many different players that I think I can plug you guys with the best animations for day one. Again, I'm sure we're gonna learn more stuff. Well, not too much more. We're not gonna learn too much more because it's not like I could play the game or like play park, but so I'm gonna put y'all onto some of the SIGs that I found that were very explosive, gave the best speed boost, all that. Before I give my opinion on it, if you guys have never heard of 2K Lab, they run a bunch of tests to find the best animations, the fastest animations, all that. NBA2K26.com. They did give me a code this year, so code SOLO, but majority of their stuff is free. Like I think you'll be able to see all that for free. But if you do wanna, you know, pay for the premium stuff, code SOLO will give you guys 20% off. NBA2K.lab.com. I'll put a link in the description. It's very helpful, especially when a new 2K just drops. So for the best dribble styles, I found Steph Curry had a lot of very good SIGs. He was probably the best NBA player to dribble with at community day as far as like play now goes. His SIGs overall were very good. Like if you want to get on day one and you don't want to really think about it too much, just put on all of Steph Curry's SIGs. Like that will probably work well for you. That's going to be for small guards. One that was very good for tall guards is SGA. Like a lot of people were moving with SGA. He had very good speed boosts, run out animations with his dribble style. That's going to be for tall guards. And then another one was actually Zach LaVine. I don't remember who exactly found this one. It wasn't me, but I started hearing word of it and then I ended up testing it. I don't know if I have that recorded, but Zach LaVine is another very good dribble style. And then for the size ups, again, Steph Curry had a very good size up. You know, he's had solid size ups in years past. It's going to be for small guards. And for tall guards, Tracy McGrady actually had a pretty good one. I think I used his in like 2K24, so I forget the 2K, but something recent I used his, and his was looking pretty good again for, I'd assume, tall guards, because he's like what, 6'6". As far as the breakdowns, like the aggressive breakdown combo, Devin Booker, it's back, it's still in there. I don't think I have that recorded either, but take my word for a lot of these things. Devin Booker, you know, that aggressive breakdown, how you kind of like fling forward and you could like get someone grab behind you or get them on your side and have an easy shot, or you could like just self lob it. A lot of people did the self lobs off of the D Booker, which by the way, when you guys self lob this year, it's a different button. It is for Xbox, it's Y and X. And for PlayStation, it is triangle and square. I gotta look at the PlayStation controller because I don't play PlayStation like that. But that's not it. And this was messing me up. I don't know if I have footage of this, but when you throw a self lob, a random button pops up. So it's not always just hold X or hold square for PlayStation. It'll be triangle or it'll be circle or B. Like a random button pops up and you have to read it in time and click that button to finish the self lob. Again, before I finish off all these dribble moves, you know, in previous years, I dropped a full gameplay breakdown. I'm gonna drop a shooting video soon, so y'all stay tuned for everything shooting, best jump shots I found, shooting tips, all the new features, all that. And I'm gonna be live, twitch.tv/solo_. There'll be a link in the description. I'm gonna be going over everything. So, you know, I'm not gonna drop a finishing video or much defense stuff, but I'll be talking about all that and going over just all my raw gameplay and footage on my stream, on my Twitch. So solo on Twitch. As far as the escapes go, one that I really liked was the Kemba Walker escape. That had a really good long hezzy, and I don't know if I have footage of this one either, but another one was Curry. I know I have footage of this one. Curry had a really good long hezzy escape back and forth. His was a little bit lower to the ground. Kemba's was much higher, and I just felt like more smooth. But those are two very good escapes. And then for tall guards, Jimmy Butler had a really good escape. Next up, we got the crossovers, and I don't know if there was crossovers like De'Aaron Fox in 2K25, and I think, what was it, John Wall in 2K24. Like if you play the game a lot, you know what I'm talking about. But for small guards, I found Kyrie had a pretty good crossover, and then for tall guards, Lonzo actually had a pretty good crossover. But yeah, I don't know if they were really like Fox from last year. Maybe we'll find some moves that will be like that. Again, it was kind of hard only using play now NBA players. For the behind the backs, Steph Curry, again, I think the Curry slide is going to be back just with how fast the gameplay is. The game speed is increased. You could spam it back and forth without having to do too much. You don't got to do a hezzy or do extra, you know, movements on your controller. You could just diagonal down left, diagonal down right. You could just keep spamming it back and forth behind the screen. I think that's going to be really tough to guard. And then for tall guards, one of the best ones I found was Kobe White. You got a very long like behind the back with it, so I think that could be pretty good. And then Scottie Pippen was another one that was good for tall guards because I mean he's had a good one for like previous 2K, like the last like 2 or 3. The best hezzy I could find was like CP3, but I don't know if hezzies are going to be that effective this year. Again, especially because like last year, if you guys played, you know, you'd use Halliburton hezzy or you use something that would give you a good quick animation to kind of cancel out of a move. But this year, you don't really have to do that. Step backs are very important. This is your snatch back. And again, on 2K26, you get very fast speed boosts out of these snatchbacks. One that I found that was very good was De'Aaron Fox. I assume he's going to be for small guards. He didn't have like a crazy snatch animation. It was kind of like one of those awkward ones, like kind of like I think Trae Young might have had an awkward one in 2K25 that didn't like give a crazy hop back. But what it did do is it has a good speed boost. So he kind of goes, you know, behind his back or whatever. I don't even know. Kind of like a small snatch back, like he doesn't hop back too far, but then when you run out of it, it gives a really good boost. So I noticed that was pretty good. Another good one that was kind of similar in that way where you had a good speed boost off of it was the Curry snatchback. And then one that was actually pretty crazy was the Vince Carter snatchback. I think this one was kind of like the Zach LaVine one. I don't know if I tested the Zach LaVine snatchback, or it might have been a little different. I don't know. But the Vince Carter one that he had on was just like the LaVine one from 25. And you also got a crazy speed boost off of it. And then as far as the triple threat goes, I don't think I have this recorded, but you can take my word for it. The Kobe triple threat style is still, the Kobe jab is still in the game. So I thought maybe they were gonna remove that, but if you play Pro-Am especially, you know, you do the Kobe jab and have your defender crab behind you, could just shoot off and get an easy shot. That is still in the game. Any extra dribbling footage that I couldn't find, I'm gonna just play it now just so you guys can see. But again, this is the worst that it's ever gonna be, and I wish I could show you how I was moving and what I was really doing with the mod players, but hey, that's gonna have to wait for tomorrow. And I know I didn't break down everything. I wanted to drop a sole video on just dribbling because That's really my main thing, and I noticed it was so crazy on 2K26. And I'm also dropping a video on shooting that might even be out now. I'm dropping that today, so be on the lookout for that, because there was a ton of changes to shooting, and if you don't watch that video and you just hop on 2K26, you're definitely gonna be lost. Dribbling is looking crazy on 2K26. It's looking like tall guards are gonna be back. I cannot wait to actually play the game for myself and hop in that park. So if you guys haven't, click the video pop on your screen right now.